I've seen a lot of very, very wealthy people that are truly miserable. Money is nice. It allows you to do things. Money does not make you happy. It doesn't. And anybody that says it does is wrong.
My little motto is a little trio too. It's health, wealth, and love equals happiness. If you have a good amount of health, wealth, and love, it's really hard to be unfulfilled in life.
What I refuse to do is get old. I refuse to do that. I'd give it all up to be 32 again. So I guess my point on that is enjoy the ride.
What's the one sacrifices you had to make to get to from where you were to making hundreds of millions of dollars?
Oh, wow.
Welcome to the Cold Tub Talks. Today, we have Nicholas Hentges, CEO of Captive Resources, a consultant company with $12 billion in assets, over 500 employees, and a few hundred million in revenue each year. If I can save you the humble card, Nick, of having to say it yourself, can I just get a verbal yes of that being true?
Yes.
All right. So
Yes.
with a company that was only doing a few million when you came on board, what's it take to get to a company to a billion with a B, $1 billion?
A lot of hard work, finding the right people. Oh, boy. Great product. We have a great product. And we just focused on that product and made it the best we could. And that's actually really is what's worked for us. It's amazing how from such a small company, there were 13 employees and 50 million in premium to we're at 5.5 billion today. So,
Wow.
and have the opportunity in the next 5 years to get to 10 billion. So
Wow.
pretty excited about that.
I love
In
that.
premium. That's
Yes.
revenue, figure doubling the revenue.
Sure.
That's crazy.
I love the future vision too. Continuous growth, right?
You sticking around that whole time?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Well,
Love that.
10 years might be a stretch, but
Yeah.
certainly the next 5 to 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
That's
it.
amazing.
Awesome.
And I got to segue into that because we saw you last month at a car show and you were talking about your health journey the past year or so and how you really kicked things into gear. Talk about being around another 10 years plus. What's the difference in how you feel now versus when you weren't taking care of yourself? You're sharing a little bit today how you've gained a little weight recently and everything, but how good does it feel to feel good versus when you don't feel good? A reminder to all the other business owners out there.
So in my 40s, I got very fit, like really fit. And I kept that for about 10 years.
Okay.
And then I hit 50 and just kind of let it start to slide to the point where a little over a year ago, I was 65 years old and it just I just didn't feel good. I didn't look good.
How do you feel right now, by the way?
I feel cold right now. How do you think I feel?
Yeah.
And so I just made the decision, that's it, I'm done. And lost 35 pounds, dropped 7 inches off of my stomach,
Okay.
built a bunch of muscle that I didn't have. And now, I clothes fit again. The stuff that this is a great story. I have a couple tuxes, but I was looking for a tux and I found one that I bought in 1988
Okay.
when I was, a totally different shape than I am now or was.
Yeah.
Put it on and it fit perfectly, right? Didn't do anything to it. Pulled it out of my closet and put it on and it looked amazing. And that told me I'm doing the right thing. So I'm down about 4 inches on my waist and I just feel great, right? Got rid of a bunch of fat.
Yeah.
That's fantastic right there. A reminder. It's never too late. Lost 4 inches on his waist. Get your butt in shape. And if you don't know how to do that, hey, us boys right here. We'll show you how to get it done.
That's right. He walked in and I was jealous of his triceps. I saw him. I'm like, well, what is he doing that I'm not doing to get triceps like that?
Yeah, right.
He's definitely been hitting the gym.
Well, this is a true story. I've got a really great gym in my basement. I don't work out there. I work out in my closet.
What?
It's true. I do a lot of push-ups. I do a lot of work on a ball. I do a lot of squats. I do a lot of
In your closet?
in my closet. Yeah.
Wait, so what's the reason of picking your closet over the full?
Because
basement,
I
Jim?
don't know why, but that walk downstairs, the stairs is too much for me. But I can't not go into my closet and work out there because it's right there.
The
So,
convenience of it.
the convenience of it.
It's just like why the closet? Like, it's just
well, it's a pretty big closet.
He's got enough room, so
I don't know. That's what works for me, right? It does, and I do it. I go in, I get up, and I drink my protein drink, lots of protein.
that's right.
Drink my protein drink, wait 15 or 20 minutes, and then do my workout.
Yeah. So building off of that, transitioning back into your career and everything, what's the one thing, like sacrifices you had to make to get to from where you were to making hundreds of millions of dollars?
Well, I don't know, hundreds of millions might be too, that's kind of you, but
He's a humble man.
for a long time,
Because you've been at it for what, 30?
it'll be 33 years.
33
Yeah,
years.
33 years in September. Yeah.
93 we read, right? On the
Yes,
website.
93.
That's when I was
when I
born.
started at CRI. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for a while I gave up friendships because I had 3 young kids. I had this business we were trying to build. And so I didn't really have friendships. I didn't have people I hung out with. I didn't belong to a country club. I didn't do those things. I went to my kids' sporting events and I spent time with them and my wife and I worked. And so, I gave up something there.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, about 15 years ago, I met a great, my kids were in high school and I met a great group of people and, I've joined a couple country clubs since then. And now I have this amazing friend group, right?
Mhm.
Big, broad friend group that I hang out with a lot and play golf with and do things with. And then I've got, the people that I work with at Captive Resources, mostly younger, mostly quite a bit younger than me. But I love hanging out with young people and they're really dear friends of mine. And so we do things together. I don't think like an old guy. I think like a young guy, right? I
That's good.
don't get cranky about things. Well, I guess my wife might disagree with that, but
So she does.
I love the younger generation and I see what they're going to do. And so I like being around them and to retire. And, I've got a place in Naples. I just don't want to do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a balanced life for a while. I had a balanced life with my family and my work, but I've really figured that out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what it takes, though, right? And how flattering. I feel like that was a compliment to us.
Yeah.
We love being young guys. We're at a 10 out of 10 every day. Full
I'm jealous, right? I mean, I give up a lot to have your age, your youth.
Mhm.
I mean, a lot.
Yeah, but you said you've got it up here, right? You said you're young at heart.
I
So
am,
it's a big
and
piece of puzzle.
and that's the way I run my business. And I'm a big believer in change. We change all the time, and we need to change. A lot of people can't do that.
Mm.
I embrace it and love it. So
You know what else you should embrace, Nick?
the cold.
Yeah, you should get those arms in there. Have you put your arms in there? You want to put your arms in
Oh my God.
Back in there?
What would you say, building off that, what was the biggest price your family had to pay for your success?
I missed things, right? I missed things. I wasn't there for birthdays and I didn't miss all of them,
Yeah.
but I missed some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And, luckily my wife is amazing and she picked up the slack for me. And, the reason my kids are as great as they are is because of her. We've got an amazing relationship with our kids. My second is getting married in September. We're going to go right after that. We're going to take a safari for 2 weeks with everybody.
Where at?
We fly into Cape Town. We go to, we're in Cape Town for 3 days. We're in Kruger for 4, and then we go to Victoria Falls for 4. So that'll be a great trip.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
awesome.
that.
Beautiful.
Sorry, now I'm cold again.
Let's go. All right.
Okay.
That's the whole point. It's the cold tub talks.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, I
I
love
don't
that.
know if I'm talking very well though.
I think a big thing people forget is there's grinding phases in any business,
Yep.
right? There's sacrifices you have to make no matter what to create something amazing. And you've created something absolutely incredible that you had to make sacrifices along the way in order to achieve what you wanted to. And a lot of times that's sacrificing family time and missing out on things that some people would be like, you should never miss that.
Well, I think
Mm.
people look at people that are successful and say, well, they had it given to them.
Hmm.
But there was nothing we had nothing given to us, right?
Yeah.
When we started at CRI, my wife and I, our goal was to have $3,000 in our checking account. If we had $3,000 in our checking account, we could cover something that popped up, right?
Yeah.
So that's 33 years ago. That seems like a long time. It's not that long ago. So, there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of sacrifice at times. And what
Sure.
you just said was so true. There's sometimes when you work extremely hard, and there's other times when you can kind of coast and, enjoy the rest of your life. And the funny thing is, the older I get, the more passion I get about what I'm doing at Captive Resources. And so I still spend a lot of time there, working on that.
That's beautiful. I love that you've mentioned your wife and your family a few times. Just for perspective, so CRI for 30 years, 33 years ago, $3,000 was the threshold. How long have you and your wife been together?
We just celebrated our 45th anniversary last weekend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, congrats to you.
Pretty cool, man. From the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were married my senior year of college. We got married between my junior and senior year of college. So that you don't hear about that too often anymore.
Not nowadays, no.
No,
Yeah.
but it's been great.
Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to the Pod Company, our sponsor for the Cold Tub Talks podcast. I'm sitting in their Ice Pod Pro. These are the best in-class pods. If you don't have one, you should get one for yourself. And if you haven't seen the Cold Tub Talks podcast, head over to YouTube, the InstaShred page, and check it out for yourself.
Welcome back to the Cold Tub Talks. We're warming up now. And Nick, I'll kick off with this. When was the last time you genuinely doubted yourself? And what triggered it?
Oh, wow.
All these years you've mentioned, there's got to be a time where it was like, what sticks out?
I don't know if it's, this was way back when I did make the move to come to Captive Resources
Okay. In 93.
in 93.
Year I was born.
Yeah. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
That wasn't a thought yet.
I had, I was there for about 10 months. I was living in Chicago in a really crappy one-bedroom apartment. My wife was still living in Des Moines with my son, who was just born. Couldn't sell our house, and it was a small company, and it was tough. It was really tough. And this is kind of a great story. I was downtown with a couple buddies, and we were at the Lodge downtown on Division Street. I'm sorry, no, we were in Butch McGuire's. We were in McGuire's and walked out of Butch McGuire's, walked right into the guys that I worked for in Des Moines. And I was really struggling and didn't know if I'd made the right decision. And I went over to the Lodge, sat there, was having a beer with my buddy. And I'm like, God, I just don't know. He said, hey, man, they love you. Go back. They're at Butch McGuire's right now. They walked in. Go back and ask for your job back. And I said, no, I can't do that, man. I can't do it. And, we sat there for about 10 minutes. And finally I said, you know what? Screw it. And got up, walked across the street, walked into the bar. They weren't at the bar. They weren't back by the pool tables. They weren't around the corner. They must have walked in and walked out. Thank God. So 2 weeks later, we sell our house, right? Mary moves to Chicago, and we're back together, and we have our second son, a few months later. That was probably the biggest doubt I ever had in myself, and that was tough because I'm a proud guy. But sometimes you got to get a little lucky, too. And I got lucky that day because they weren't in that bar. I didn't go ask for my job back. Not proud of that. But I did it, and it worked out okay. And from there on, it's been, we've been rocking and rolling since.
Yeah. So do you think if they were in that bar longer?
I don't know. I don't know. I think I would have really regretted. I wouldn't have known what was going to happen, but I know I would have regretted it because what's happened has been pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's crazy to think of. Such like it's like a small pivotal moment, but if you made a different decision in that moment, it's like, whoa, the trajectory of life could be
totally
so
different. Totally different.
And what age were you?
35.
That's a good lesson for us.
So it is, and that's I will tell you that there will come times in your life where you're going to have that fork in the road, right? And I've had it a few times, and I've been lucky and picked the right fork.
Nice.
Yeah. Sometimes there's always those two options, and it's make or break which direction you go, because it leads to two completely different outcomes.
Completely. I've had a few of them, and I'm talking big forks. And again, there's a little luck in life. There is, and you make your own luck. But there were a couple times where I could have made a different decision that would have changed the trajectory of my life. I'm still a little chilled here. I can't say trajectory very well. It would have changed the trajectory of my life totally.
It's a good reminder to us, even you saying at that point you were 35, us still being 30 and 31, it shows that we still got some time before you could be put in that position of like, hey, what's the choice here, and what's the decision, and what's the outcome going to be?
It's interesting because I spend a lot of time with young people who are pretty successful, and I didn't really have great success, real success, until I was in my 50s,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Remember you sharing that when we
Yeah.
first met you.
So, everybody wants it right now. And I understand that, right? It'd be great if I had the success I had when I was in my 30s. That'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I didn't. And I think I learned some really valuable lessons because of that. Humility and, how to enjoy things when you don't have money. And I'm going to say this, money is nice. It allows you to do things. Money does not make you happy. It doesn't. And anybody that says it does is wrong. You have to have a balanced life. You have to, the money will allow you to do things that you wouldn't have been able to do before.
Sure.
But if you're an unhappy person, that's not going to make you happy.
It's a great reminder. Yeah.
Yeah.
We share that with each other all the time. There's so many people where we see you idolize them because they've achieved financial success, but you look at the overall balance and you're like, you know what? I wouldn't trade my life for theirs.
I've seen a lot of very, very wealthy people that are truly miserable, and I would not change my life for theirs. And quite frankly, I'm a happy guy. I'm blessed, and I'm happy, and I'm thankful. But I look at guys like you at 30,
33.
33 and 31.
I'm actually 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd give it all up to be 32 again. So I guess my point on that is enjoy the ride.
Well,
The ride is what it's all about.
yeah. And right back at you. I'd say part of me wants to be like you when we're your age. To hear you say you're young at heart and you hang out with younger people, it sounds like you're cooler than you were when you were 30 something.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think if you ask my kids would probably say, no, he's not that cool, but I like to think I am. And I do enjoy being around all kinds of people. I've got people I work with and friends who are younger, my kids. My kids are my friends now, which I love. I love the whole spectrum, right? What I refuse to do is get old, right? I refuse to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now it's happening. Physically, it's happening, but I really, truly am trying everything in my power to keep my head fit, keep my body fit.
Yeah, buddy.
Because I live by a saying, or kind of a way of living, which is QTR, quality time remaining. It's all about quality, not about time remaining, right? And when you get to my age, see, you guys don't even think about it. You don't think about it,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't.
Okay.
But when you get to my age, you start to think about it, and it's not time remaining, right?
Yeah.
Because I've seen too many people who have time remaining, but they sit and watch TV all day long, and they're out of shape, and they can't move around, and they can't do anything. I don't want that. I want quality time remaining.
Wow, that brings me back to when we saw you last month too, when you were talking about your health journey the past year. You realize, like, man, when I'm 85, I still want to be able to do things.
Exactly.
And
It's exactly right.
We don't. I don't think about that. I'll speak for myself, but you're right. I don't think that far
Shouldn't.
ahead because I know in
Shouldn't.
10, 20 years, like I'll still be mobile. I'll still be able to do everything. But,
See, 10 to 20 years for me, now we're starting to get into, time where you better work at it or it's going to take over your life. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Great
That's
reminder.
that's a good lesson for any person
Yeah.
listening, that you need to remember that, because
For
you don't
real.
think of it. Yeah, like you said, at our age, I'm sure you didn't think of it when you were our age either. And then
no,
as you age a little bit and experience life a little bit more, you're like, man, I really need to worry about the quality time remaining in my life and make sure. Now I'm just gonna picture QTR in my head.
QTR, man.
Yeah, man.
QTR.
Yeah. Wow. That's like my little motto is a little trio too. It's health, wealth, and love equals happiness. If you have a good amount of health, wealth, and love, it's really hard to be unfulfilled in life.
That's a great saying, and I would agree with that 100%. And you got to open yourself up to all of it, right? You know, the wealth part of it comes with a lot of hard work and, you know,
Of course.
taking some risk and doing all of those things. But no, the health piece you can control. The love piece you can control. So, and the wealth piece you can control, you know, kind of. But no, that's a great way to live. That's
Yeah.
I might use that sometime. I'm gonna steal that from you.
Well, only if we can have QTR.
There you go. You can have it.
Must have trademarked.
You
them.
can
We're
have
good.
it.
So on the wealth side, you mentioned not really having true success until you're in your 50s. What do you think was that? Why is that for you? I'm just curious.
The thing is, my business grew slowly for many, many, many years. It took 27 or 28 years to get to $1 billion in premium. Now I talk about premium because in the insurance industry, that's the easiest way to kind of tell how big you are.
Yeah, get what you're saying.
So it took 27 or 28 years to get to $1 billion. And now, you know, we're going to roll at $1 billion a year as we move forward. It took a lot of hard work to build our reputation and our credibility and the infrastructure we needed to do what we do. And we're there, you know, we're still growing. We're still adding people but it's, we're really good at what we do. And I think people are really starting to realize that. And now we have 150 salespeople out around the country helping people understand why we do what we do and why it can work for them and why it can work for their clients. So I think that's, you know, we've kind of gone very slowly and learned a lot and made mistakes. And those mistakes weren't huge because we weren't as big as we are now, right? So you make some mistakes, you learn from them, you build off of that. And now we try not to make mistakes, even though we still do at times.
Part of the game.
It is part of the game. And that's why I tell my folks, I don't have a problem with you making mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. Just figure out what you did. Try not to do it again, right? But yeah, I want them taking chances and risk and, you know, and moving us forward. So it took me longer than it's taking the people that work for me, right? Because they've come on while we're in this growth phase and, you know, and they're really smart people and they do great work. And listen, that doesn't take anything away from the people that I built, that I worked with, that we built our company together, right? It was just different. It was just a totally different situation.
Yeah.
No, it makes sense.
What a blessing for them to learn from your mistakes.
Well, I guess that's true, right? I mean,
you fast track their life.
You're the top dog. Yeah. You got to learn all the things and you get to hand down all the right things to do and people learn quicker.
Well, and so that's, you know, the whole top dog thing. Yes, I have that title, but I'm not a believer in that. I'm a believer in team and working through a team and with a team. I just find it more fun to do that. And I think we get a better result. So you know, it's not like, hey, I'm making all the decisions. I don't do that. There's times when we sit in a room and go round and round and round trying to figure out the best way to do something. And I have an opinion on it. And I'll be like, yeah, that's not the right opinion. Let's go with what you want, right? You got to be open to that. Because listen, I'm pretty self-aware, and I do know that when I walk into a room, I'm not the smartest person in that room. I'm not. I'm pretty good at what I do, but there are a lot of really smart people out there, and I like to surround myself with those people, and I get the advantage of that. I get, you know, we have really great conversations about things, and And I think we come out with the best result, the best outcome that we can, doing it that way rather than just, hey man, I'm the top guy. I'm going to make the decision. I don't buy into that philosophy.
Is there something to be said about that? We just hired a guy recently. His name is Andy Elliott, and he's big time in sales. And he has said the same thing in his own way. It's about his culture. The team he's built is incredible. And even though he is the top dog, he doesn't take credit for that. He gives credit to his team. There's always a smarter guy in the room or someone with a better insight, and he always gives that credit. So I think there's something to be said about that.
That's just the way I live my life. I've seen people who it's always I and me and, I don't believe that. That's not, it's we and us and the team is doing this. And that's my Exco team, the people that I work with directly with every day. And that's our entire team of colleagues who work so hard every day to keep doing what we do and doing it really well for our clients. That's what makes me, I think, the most proud and the happiest and the most fulfilled.
You've put time into your career and life. Now it's time for your body to reflect the same standard. At InstaShred, we help busy men through bespoke online fitness to improve their appearance, performance, and health. To get started, just click the link below in the description at instashred.com and book your free call.
So glad you came out today because I can just feel the passion.
Yeah.
I love this.
Well, I'm a big, you mentioned it, culture. I'm a big culture guy.
Yeah.
I've seen too many companies who treated their people like bad. They treated them bad. I don't understand that. I just don't understand it. These people are doing great work for us, and we should take care of them and help them and give them a great life. And if they do that, if we do that, they're going to give our clients an amazing experience, right? And it just makes everything work. And so the whole zero-sum game, I win, you lose, I just don't buy that. I'm a big believer in I can win and you can win as my client, and the people that we work with together can win as well. I don't like the zero-sum game thing. I just don't like it. And that means I might not win as much as I could, right? But I win enough, and I'm happy with where I am. And, we're building a company that is here not for 3 or 5 or 10 years. We're a company that's going to be here for 50 and 100 years. And there's a big, you talked about passion, and I'm so passionate about this company that I would hate to walk out the door and just see somebody take it over and, not operate the way I believe we should operate. And the legacy then becomes something that I wouldn't be proud of.
That
So
you never want.
yeah, exactly. So we got a bunch of people who are coming up, and they're going to, I think they believe the same things I believe. It's exciting. It's really exciting. It's exciting to see what's going to happen for the next generation and the next generation.
Yeah. I'm excited just hearing about it for 5 minutes.
You can just hear the passion in your voice when you talk about it. And, I'm kind of curious to know, building the company that you have that manages billions of dollars in risk, what's the biggest risk that you've taken in your life that hasn't paid off, you'd say?
So about 12 or 13 years ago, I had a guy that I had worked with a number of years prior. And he said, hey, you should think about doing a medical stop loss captive, which we had done 20 years before. And it didn't work. We shut it down. It didn't work. But they were coming back, and some of the laws had changed, and some of the things that didn't make sense made sense. He said, you should really do this. And I said, you're right. We should think about it. And so we did. We dipped our toe into it, like small. And that guy worked at a company that we were using as the policy issuing carrier, the insurance company that we used for the policies. He said, listen, you're making a mistake. You're going after this small niche, and you should be going after a bigger, broader niche. And I listened to some of my folks, and we made a decision that, that's okay. That's advice, but we're not going to take your advice. We're going to do this. And this guy went out and started a business that did exactly what he told us to do.
Which was niche down.
Well, which was a much broader perspective,
Okay.
going after companies that didn't have loss experience when we made the companies that we were trying to write have loss experience. Okay.
Gotcha.
I'm getting technical now, but
I got you.
so he started his own business and he grew that over the next 10 years and grew it to a point where that side of it dwarfed us.
Whoa.
Right. And he just sold that company for $2.5 billion. And now he owns a soccer team, and they're a big time soccer team, the Scotland Rangers, in the Champions League, trying to get elevated to the Premier League. That could have been ours, right? We could have had that position. So he took that company and made it a multi-billion-dollar company. Now we're in it now.
Yeah.
Right. But we're 12 years kind of late. So now instead of being kind of on the casualty side, which is where we started our business, there's nobody that's even close to us. Right. On this side, they're they're the 800-pound gorilla, and we're chasing them.
Dang.
So, which I kind of like.
Goosebumps.
I kind of like it. I kind of like
It's kind
it.
of crazy.
But our company would have been, significantly larger if we had done what he suggested. Okay, big mistake, right? And we figured it out, and now we are 100% in. More than that, we went from 3 people in that department to 100. We'll have 250 in another 2 or 3 years in that department. So that was a mistake. I'll take that one. That's all on me. But yeah, hey, you move on.
Yeah, it's working out now.
And we're going to go after it. And we've learned some things from them that we're using now. And, so yeah, we're a few years behind, but we're going to get there.
Yeah.
So I finally came up with an answer
That was a
for you.
really good
That was
response.
good,
That
man.
was crazy
Yeah,
good.
usually it's the opposite. Like people come up with their own ideas and it's like it never goes anywhere. But the fact that he went and did that that's cool.
and crushed it. And I'll give him all the credit for that, right? We're big time competitors. We're also friends, right?
Mhm.
For many years, we would call each other each December and say, "Hey, Andrew, you ready to sell to me?" And Andrew would say to me, "No, are you ready to sell to me?"
Oh, what a
So-
fun game.
So, and neither of us has sold to either one of us, but we're friendly competitors.
That's
Keeps it fun.
yeah. I was not expecting that answer, but man, that was a really good one to
Oh, that was
answer
yeah.
that question.
It took me a while to come up with it, but man, that was that was a big miss, and now it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's hard though in business. You get so many pieces of advice, or you should try this or do that, and you don't know which ones are right and wrong. And that guy went out and basically was like, "Here, let me show you that my piece of advice is right," and
Yeah.
it really was.
It really was, and we realized it 4 years ago, and made the decision. Yeah, well, we made a mistake. We can do this, and we have the infrastructure and to be able to build this side of it out. So it's an entirely separate company, really, that we're standing up, and that's kind of exciting, right? I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah.
We've got one side that's just a machine; it just keeps cranking out. But this medical stop loss side is relatively new to us. It's not new, but it's relatively new to us, and we're gonna have to figure out how to make it work, and we're doing that. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's cool. You seem like we're realizing you're a kind-hearted man. You're a man of morals. We're talking about culture. What's the nicest thing that someone's done for you in your career that you'll just never forget?
Oh boy, there's been a lot of those. This is an easy one for me. There's been a lot of people that have done, really great things for me. I'm going to say the first one was a guy by the name of Pete McPartland. He is the CEO at Century Insurance, big insurance company. We were young. I was 24, 25. He was maybe 28 or 29. And we were in Des Moines, Iowa, insurance company, had all kinds of issues. And he needed somebody that believed in him. They brought him in to kind of fix this office. And I was an underwriter at the time. And he said, and I've got a letter in my office framed and on my wall that he sent to me in 1984, basically saying, you were one of the earliest to believe in me and support me. And he made me a manager. I was a 24-year-old kid managing a bunch of 45-year and 50-year-old people. And we changed that office around. And, it was, the numbers were small, but the impact it had on me was incredible. I'll never forget Pete. Pete had a huge hand, and we only worked together for maybe 2.5 years, but he had a huge impact on me. The guy who was the founder of Captive Resources, George Rusu, he built a great product. He built a company in the early stages. And then, we were partners for many years, but he trusted me in 2014 with running the company, the day-to-day operations of the company, and helped me grow. And, I became CEO then. And, he's been a great mentor for me and a great partner for years and years and years. And he's our chairman. So I still have a mentor, right?
Yeah.
I still have, and he'll always be my boss, right? Always. So I've had a few really great people in my life that have spent time with me and helped me. And I'm going to take it and twist it a little bit now.
Oh, all right. Let's twist it up.
We had 16 interns this year. So they were with us for 10 weeks. And these are, I'm going to say kids, sorry. They're between 19 and 21, 22. So they've got their whole career ahead of them, right? They're still in school. And I'm really engaged in the intern program because we've hired a lot of these kids, and I just think it's so important to give them the opportunity to see what a professional office is like before they get into the business world. Mm-hmm. And so when they go through and are done with their internship program, I always have about a 45-minute interview with them and talk about what they can expect and kind of give them some pearls that and some things that I've learned along the way. And a big chunk of that is talking about culture and paying it forward. And every one of them, I said, listen, someday you will be sitting in my chair with somebody that's your age now across from you. Give them your time and give them your effort and help them be a better person and a better professional. And if you do that, it will be the most rewarding thing you do. It's better than any amount of money. It is. And so, I have that conversation with 19 and 20 and 21-year-old kids. And, I hope they listen to it. I hope they take that advice. And I give that advice to anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's the best thing you'll do.
I sure as hell would. And I'm sure it means a lot to them that you breathe that life into them.
Well, I was lucky that I had people that took time for me and help shape me and make me the person I am today. And I think it's important that I try to do that with the folks that work at Captive Resources and that come into play with Captive Resources, that, interact with us in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Wow. Life's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is. It's a great thing. Yeah. Man, I'm thankful for it every day.
Yeah, I think you're right in that category where time is more valuable than money in some aspects, especially when it's your bosses, someone you look up to, someone you want to be like. To you, it's like, man, I just wish I could have an hour with him and it'd be the greatest thing ever. And there's so much you could take away or learn from somebody versus just wanting money. So
I struggle with that, right? I've in the position I am now, people want my time, right? Mm-hmm. They look forward to that. And I don't, in my head, I don't think like that. I'm just Nick. I'm just a knucklehead from small town Iowa, right? I am. Yeah. But I have accomplished some things and people do want to spend time with me and man, that makes me feel great.
That's why we're here, man.
Well, it is
now in this moment.
It is. And so even in my company, there's so many CEOs that are behind secure walls and you can't ever get to them. We have an open door policy. You want to come into my office? You don't need to make an appointment. You come into my office. If I'm not having a meeting or in the middle of something, we will sit down and chat about whatever you want to talk about.
Wow.
I-
Do you feel like your people understand that too?
Yeah,
they
they
can
come
get
in all the
somebody-
time.
Really? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Which is great. I love it, right? I don't want to be sitting in, away from everybody and not engage with. I want them to come in and say hi. And if they don't, I walk the floor and stop in and just say, hey, what's going on and
Wow.
how you doing? And
You're like a part of them.
I am.
Just-
Well,
just-
I am, right?
Yeah. I can picture the vibe though. It's not like everyone's like, oh, no, I don't want to go to Nick about this. It's like
Yeah,
you.
no,
you know?
there's no vibe like that.
Nice.
And that's our company, right? There is no, you don't have to make appointments. You just don't have to do those things. I know every company, and I have friends who are CEOs of very large companies, right? 40, 50,000 people companies. They can't do that, right? They just
Oh,
can't. It's not possible for them to do
Sure.
that. That's what I love about where I am, right? I'm in this company
That's
that
awesome.
it's big enough that it's really successful and we do really well, but it's small enough that we can do those kinds of things, right?
Wow.
And when we have our Just Cuz party, I go hang out with everybody, and
Just cause party?
yeah, that's a long story.
Okay, that's cool.
It's
Sounds fun.
it is. I mean, we usually have 4 events a year. We have a picnic at Brookfield Zoo where everybody comes, families, parents, grandparents, everybody comes. Yeah, we have 1,000 plus people. We have our Christmas party, which is at Medina, which is prom for adults, right? It's spectacularly beautiful.
Wow.
Everybody gets dressed up. It's for our folks and their spouses, significant others. We do the Just Cuz party, which is just, we go to, Dave and Buster's or someplace like that and have fun for a day.
Just cause.
Just cuz.
Just cause.
Just cuz.
I like it.
Yeah. So we try to have a little fun too, right? You got to have some fun. It can't all be work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
You're past that stage in your life now.
What's that?
Just work.
No, it's never been just work. I've always, I like having fun, man. I do. And I think it's got to be about having fun.
Oh,
If you're not having, I see too many people hanging on by their fingernails, trying to survive until they can retire.
Yeah.
That's not fun.
Some nucks for that.
That's not fun.
Agree. Sometimes I feel guilty for not doing that because I have always lived a balanced life. We're going to Disney 6 times this year. We love traveling.
We're seeing the
Doing
Disney
fun
stuff
things.
around here, right?
Yeah, we got married there, but like I know a lot of entrepreneurs who at this point in their life they're still grinding because they have to reach this stage before they let loose and have fun. I can't do it. I'm only going to be this old for this long, and I want to enjoy my life while still working for what I want to attain.
That is a beautiful thing. It really is. And that's what I love about, everybody's like, whoa, everything's changing and you can't. No. There's so many things that you're going to be able to do that you couldn't have done 5 years ago, right? And so I think that's awesome. And this is very cool, right? And everybody's life is different, right? And people are like, what are you? I go to work every day. We're in the office 2 days a week. That's what we require our folks to be, 2 days a week.
Okay.
I'm in the office every day. I'm not traveling. And I travel a lot, so I'm out of the office because of that a lot. But that's what I'm comfortable with, right?
Sure.
I have you can work better from home, work from home. That's great. But I want you in 2 days a week so you can engage and talk to people and get to know people and work together and be a team. I think that's important. But, since COVID, hey man, everything changed.
Mm.
And I'm good with that.
Mm.
We're still incredibly successful doing it very differently than we did pre-COVID.
That right there. There's no rule book, right?
There's no rules. It's the name on my boat. No rules.
Not really?
Yeah, no rules.
It's the name of it.
Yeah. So yeah, there is no rule book. I mean, you got to be able to change and move with and flow and so you do something very different than I do, right? But you're successful and I'm successful. And I think that's the beauty of being born in the US, right? We have that opportunity.
Really?
And
Yeah.
just being born here, we're blessed.
Well said. Yeah. I use it a couple times a week. First world problems.
Yeah, exactly. No, and yeah, sure, we've got issues. Sure we do.
Of course.
Yeah.
But we're pretty lucky, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Our problems are pretty, and listen, I know there's people who are struggling. I understand that. And I think it's up to all of us to help those folks. But man, we're pretty lucky. And I'm thankful for that every day. I don't know how that happened. It just happened, right? We were born here.
Yeah, yeah. And that's part of the reason we like doing these interviews, not only for our benefit, but for people to realize a lot of our life is perception. Every day we wake up, we have good and bad to focus on, but regardless of where you're at in life, you have that choice every day to wake up and focus on the good or the bad,
That's right.
regardless of how much you have.
And unfortunately, there's some people who do focus on the bad. And I feel bad for them. I feel bad for the people that have to deal with them. Right. I prefer not to do that. I prefer to, listen, we all leave a legacy, good or bad, right? There's a legacy for all of us to leave. And I really want my legacy to be one of, you know what? He was a pretty good dude. And, he tried to help people when he could. That for me is the most important thing.
That's pretty simple, man.
It is simple. It's not hard.
And you look like you're smiling and happy, so
I
I
am.
don't think anyone can tell you you're not doing it well.
Yeah.
I am happy. I'm a pretty happy guy. And I mean, what's not to be happy, right? I don't want to belabor this. I'm not going to apologize for success. I won't do that.
Yeah.
Because I worked hard for that. But I'm really proud of what we've accomplished. I've accomplished, and my company has accomplished, and I'm not going to apologize for that. That's that's something that I'm just super proud of.
Yeah. Your success wasn't given; it was earned.
100%.
Yeah.
And a lot of blood, sweat, and tears from a lot of different people went into this thing, and a lot of smiles and happiness and fun went into it too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it all about, it's, it's so hard. It's not. There are some hard days, to your point, and there's some amazing days. And the amazing days way outweigh the tough days for me.
Yeah.
Just want to have a chant or something, right? America or something. I
That's,
don't know.
That's the way we think, though. You have down days or days that aren't as great, but the good days you have greatly outweigh the bad days you have, for sure. We're just positive-minded people. We always try to find a positive, no matter if something bad happens or there's a negative. There's always a positive somewhere in there, and you just have to learn how to make any negative into a positive.
So one of the other things, and you didn't even ask me this question, but I've been thinking.
Ask yourself your own.
I've been thinking about it a great deal.
Okay.
Time, right? Time.
QTR?
Well, not
That kind of
yeah.
time.
Well, that's
Time
part
under
of it.
tension.
That's part of it. If you think about time, when you're young,
Mhm.
there's such a wide variance, right? People that are 2 and 3, or even 7, 8, 9, 10. Somebody that's 15 is a totally different person than a person that's 10,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So there's this huge gap. What happens is that gap narrows as you get older, right? You hit 20, 21. I can hang out with a 21-year-old, right? I'm 67, or I'm going to be 60. I'm sorry, I'm 66. I'm going to be 67.
Don't age yourself.
Exactly. But so it narrows down to this thing where you can hang out together. And then at a certain point, it's going to start widening again, right? I'm going to get older. You guys are going to still be young, and we won't hang out because I'll be retired or I won't be around. It's a very cool dynamic, and I'm in a great spot of it. 10 years from now, who knows, right? But I love the fact that we all kind of come together at a certain point. And even though you're 21 or 67, you can hang together.
Well, yeah. All right.
And so I'm going to embrace this part of it as long as I possibly can. And that gets to QTR. So yes, it does kind of come together.
Hell yeah. I like that. Yeah. I love how you spoke, like when you speak about what you do and what your company does, is with such conviction. I think it goes back to what you said earlier, how you said it so confidently. We are really good at what we do.
We are.
And I wish I heard more owners and CEOs of companies say that. Like, I feel like a lot of people just don't like really embody like, hey, we are the best at what we do. You know, they're always chasing something else.
And that doesn't mean making the most money. That means
Right.
giving our clients the best experience we can give them. And we've got 7,500 clients around the U.S. And, you know, our retention ratio is right at 99%, right?
Wow.
99% of our clients renew with us year in and year out. And it's not because they have to. It's because the experience they have being part of one of our captives, utilizing our services, is a really great experience for them. And that makes me really proud too.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats on that.
It-
That's
it-
99% retention.
That's unheard of.
You don't hear that ever.
No, you don't.
And like I said, they don't have to do that, but and the reason for that is there's transparency. They know what's going on. We don't hide anything from them. They're part of it. They make decisions on behalf of the captive themselves. We just guide them, right? They make their own
Yeah,
decisions.
right. Good boys.
They are. And they're in very different businesses, but they come together in this insurance company that they participate in, and they become really great partners with one another, and they become, a lot of them, great friends. So they run a business, a contractor's business, or a warehouse business, or a whatever business it is. In this business, they operate together.
Dang.
And it's fun to watch. They become very smart insurance people. They understand the product. They understand what, they have to do, and they operate it really well. And so that, what are they going to do? Go back to the standard market and buy insurance from somebody? No, they're not. So that's a really, and so when I said earlier, the product we have is an amazing product, and we got lucky with that.
Incredible.
I know, right? That's part of the zest to life right there. It's so much more than just business or friendships. It's like there's just that extra spark.
Yeah. Well, I'm more passionate about this business today than I was 5, 10, 25 years ago. I just am. And that creates
dang cool.
It creates a bit of an issue because, a lot of people are saying, well, why don't you retire? You should retire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to retire, right? I really enjoy doing what I'm doing. So, but at some point I will have to, right? I will retire.
Yeah. What changed that throughout the years of you caring and being more passionate than ever?
I think early on, I was trying to survive, right? I was trying to raise my family and do the best I could. Now I get to focus on the strategy of it and really what we can do and have real input and impact on what we do. So that makes it easy to be passionate. I know what we've got. I know that we're going to succeed. I know those things. How can we succeed better? And so being part of that is really, really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And now that we heard your age, you're not old by any means, but to be at that place,
Oh, I'm old.
dude, that is the coolest thing though, because like it just says to me that age is just a number. Like you're full of life, man.
I am.
Most people in their 60s, I feel like they're just like dead inside. Like you said, sitting on the couch, watching TV, doing their mundane stuff. But man, that.
Oh, I do some of that too, right?
Sure.
I mean, you got to do that every now and again, but I don't do that very often, right? I'm traveling more than I've ever traveled.
Yeah.
I was busier this year than I've ever been, ever.
I caught that. Yeah.
We're growing more quickly than we've ever grown. We've added more people. I mean, we've added just some super high test people into our organization. We're attracting really great talent. And so it's fun to be part of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mean to keep going on about this, but
No, this is great. This is like we want them just you're vibing right now.
Well,
you're just in a trance, a damn good one too.
Well, listen, meeting you, 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
3 years.
Is it 3 years ago? You have a great vibe about you too. And I didn't know you, and we just sat and chatted for a while at the car condo, talked a little bit about cars, talked about me getting into shape, which I needed to do. but it's fun to listen and hear and understand what other people are doing and having and doing that and having a great life too. Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do what I do. You do what you do,
Yeah.
and you bring a great energy to that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm a big believer that you bring great energy and great attitude to things. People are gonna want to be around you and want to interact with you, and that's what I felt when I met you the first time.
We appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. And as we wrap up, we do have a little something for you.
Oh,
Just
not
a little-
tell me it's not
Yeah.
tell me it's not an ice bath.
Yeah, and while she's grabbing that, you mentioned 3 years ago. Thank you again for coming on because we met 3 years ago. You're a super busy guy, but the way we got to meet up and have this type of conversation, this atmosphere is really, really neat. This beats a lunch or a coffee date.
Oh,
any
well,
day.
thank you. You did not
Thanks for
need to do
coming.
that. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm curious to know, you've gone through 66 years of life. You've lived a pretty great life. If you could go back to one specific day in your life and relive it, what day would that be?
Oh boy. Wow. You got me again, man.
I had a feeling.
That's such a big question. I mean, you got to say the birth of your kids and,
Your wedding day, don't forget about that.
yeah,
If
my
your
wife,
wife sees-
no, 45 years ago, right? 45 years ago. And I remember that, I remember every minute of that, like it was yesterday, every minute. We had a day, this is going back 40 plus years.
Before us.
Yeah. Way before you guys. It was just a great day. We were on a boat, not the boat I have now, but on a boat with my closest friends. We just had the greatest day, right? It was just a perfect day. So much fun. That would be a fun day to go back to, right? I don't know if it's the best day, but
Yeah.
that would be a really, really fun day to go back to.
Yeah.
Because I was young, right? And
Yeah.
you're young and just so full of life and just, there's so many days.
Yeah.
Getting
I'm sure.
getting together with my kids and being on our boat together. I mean, man, those are great days too, right? I've had a lot of really great days. So but I think that one sticks out. I mean, I remember it so well. I do remember my wedding really well. And it was really great until,
Oh God, what's coming?
weddings then weren't like the way we had a wedding dance and it went till late. We had a reservation in a town close to us because we were going to drive to Colorado for our honeymoon. So we didn't end up getting to the hotel until probably 2:30 in the morning. And they gave our room away. No rooms at the inn. Zero. Nothing.
Wow.
So I convinced the guy at the desk to give us, there was a suite that had been used for like some kind of a party. I'm like, man, we'll take it. They brought a bottle of champagne for us and we made the best of it, right?
Yeah.
Those you gotta roll with the punches, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, I feel like it was just a question I wanted to ask because it makes you put a lot of brain power in it. There's so many days I'm sure that when you sat there and thought about it, a million memories just went through your mind
They did.
of going back in time of like, wow, I've lived a pretty awesome life and I don't even know what memory I would pick.
And listen, everybody, I hope everybody lives a great life. Not everybody gets to live a great life. And I don't want this to be about how awesome I've had a lot of great experiences. I really have. And to pick one or two is just impossible to do. But you're right. I start thinking about all of the, and they start rolling through your head. And, I could sit here the rest of the day and talk about great experiences now, but I'm not going to do that to you guys. But I've been really blessed with a lot of amazing, amazing experiences.
Yeah. And whether we know them or not, I think that's a cool answer in itself.
Yeah.
It's not always about sharing with others what you've done, but like if you know inside, like, man, I don't regret my life.
Oh.
I mean, that is a beautiful thing and a beautiful feeling to sit with.
There's two things. I wouldn't change one thing in my life. The good and the bad. And I've had some bad. I've had some, I've had some really tough stuff happen too. I wouldn't change one thing. Now, having said that, would I give up everything I have right now? Everything. Not my kids or my wife, but to go back and be 30 years old and do it again with no guarantees I'm going to get to where I am today? 100%.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of people say that,
100% I would do that.
give away everything they possibly have to be able to restart and go back to an age.
And that's why when, the whole time thing, you can't, right? You can't do it.
QTR, baby. I'm locked in.
It's the most valuable thing we all have.
Yeah,
And
it really is.
And unfortunately, so many people waste it. I wasted it for a bunch of years being a slut, being fat and not caring about my health. I think I caught it early enough that hopefully I'm going to have a lot of QTR now. But if I can give anybody one thing, man, your health is what it's all about, right? And that's what you guys are doing. And this is not a paid political advice
Wow.
advertisement. It's the truth.
You really beat me to the last question I was going to ask
Let's
you.
go.
Is what would be your biggest piece of advice to anybody out there watching this podcast right now?
Good one.
Yeah. Well, your health, number one. You got to take care of you. If you smoke, quit smoking. I mean, just quit. If you're heavy, figure a way to lose the weight. And there's a lot of different ways. Take care of your brain, right? Work your brain. It's another reason I don't want to quit.
Yeah.
Because I my brain works every day.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really good thing. My worst nightmare would be to start losing brain power.
Mm-hmm.
Take risk. Take some risk. Take some chances. Right? Take some chances.
Look where it led you.
Well, it could have led me a lot of different ways.
Fork in the road. You got to
You do. And you got to go with your gut, right? You can listen to other people because so many people told me when I made the move to come from Des Moines to Chicago and take this job that I was an idiot and I was making a huge mistake. A lot of people. And if I would have listened to that, I would have made the wrong decision. I did, I heard what they said, but I truly needed to do something that felt right to me. And I made that it was difficult for my wife, right? She had a life in Des Moines and we had our child there and, we were building a life there. It just wasn't the right life for me.
Wow.
And she went along with it. God bless her. So you got to listen to your gut, but you got to be willing to take some risk. And then you got to work hard. You got to really work. There's no free pass, right? There's no free pass in this deal. You've got to put the work in.
Yeah.
And I feel like I did that. And, and then you got to get a little lucky. And you got to realize that you're lucky and make the most of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into a life.
Dang. This is a great time. I had a blast.
Yeah. This was awesome.
Extraordinary lives don't come easy, and you're a great example of them.
I don't know if it's my life and I'm happy with it. I don't know that it's extraordinary. I don't think it is. I really don't. And that's okay too, right?
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a chameleon. If I'm in New York City with private equity guys or bankers, or I can be in that world.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in Lamar's, Iowa, I can talk farm prices, corn prices, and hog belly prices, and I can do that.
Hog belly.
Pork belly. Sorry,
I've never heard
I'm sorry.
that term before.
Pork belly. Pork belly. Sorry to all my Iowa friends. Pork belly.
Please forgive him.
But I feel like I fit in a lot of different worlds, and I like that. I don't like being one dimensional. I want to be 2 and 3 dimensional. But I think you can do that being a nice person, paying it forward, helping other people, and enjoying what you're doing and having fun with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, before we end, do you want to open your gift?
Oh, shit. Hang on.
We've talked about health a few times, so this is us looking out for your health and all the travel you do.
Okay. What do we have?
Just a little something, something.
See, I talked about my My top.
You did, yeah. We got your tux bag, completely random.
It's like we knew the future.
All right. What do we have?
You might have one of these, but I bet you don't have one like this.
I don't know. What is
You know
it?
what this is?
No.
All right, grab each end and pull it apart.
Oh, it's a.
Collapsible foam roller. Pull
Ah.
it all the way out and feel how rigid those pieces are. So that's for some deep
Oh,
tissue
nice.
foam roll in action.
Did you guys know I had a bad back right now?
Hey, that's-
I just came here for my chiropractor, so
I bet you your chiropractor would recommend that. Your chiropractor is probably going to be so happy that you did the cold tub and got a.
listen. I hope so. He suggested it to me.
Yeah,
No, that's very cool. Thank you very much.
Of
That's very
course.
kind of you.
yeah, of course.
Well, this was awesome. I don't know how it went for you, but it was awesome. I love it.
Thanks again for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure. No,
Yeah. If I could give you one piece of advice, keep that in your closet.
it's going in my closet.
Yeah,
Don't put that one in the basement. All right?
No, that's going in my closet.
yeah.
Actually, that might be in my closet has wood floors. That might be in my bedroom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Use it on the carpet.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in today to Nick's story. If you want to watch other great episodes from us here on the Cold Tub Talks, you can click right here.